What if I told you that the reason you're not a millionaire isn't because you're lazy, or unlucky, or untalented, it's because no one ever showed you the one thing you were born to monetize. And here's the twist, you already know what it is. You've just been trained to ignore it. But in the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how to find that hidden talent, and once you see it, you'll never see yourself the same way again. Close your eyes. Imagine a version of you that makes money effortlessly. Not because it's easy, but because it's natural. You're not chasing trends. You're not forcing yourself to fit a mold. You're doing what comes easiest to you, what others struggle with, and people are paying you for it. That's not a fantasy. That's alignment. And it's real. Let me tell you a story. There was a guy named Dan. He wasn't exceptional by anyone's standards. Mediocre grades. No standout skills. One job after another. Always broke. Always tired. But there was one thing, he had this weird ability to explain complex things in simple words. He never thought it was special. To him, it was just common sense. Until one day, out of pure boredom, he uploaded a YouTube video explaining how cryptocurrency works. It went viral. Not because it was flashy, but because it made people understand something they couldn't before. 1 year later, Dan's a millionaire. Why? Because he leaned into what felt obvious to him, but was gold to everyone else. That's what we're talking about. You've been looking outside for answers, but your talent, it's buried inside. And unlocking it doesn't take years. It takes 10 minutes. But only if you're honest. Ready? Grab a pen. Don't think. Just write. Question 1. What do people always ask you for help with, even when you're not trying? Don't overthink it. Maybe they ask for your opinion on outfits. Or help fixing things. Or explaining rules. Or calming down. That's not random. That's a clue. Question 2. What do you lose track of time doing, when no one's watching? That thing, the one you do for free, the one that doesn't drain you, that's energy pointing in a direction. Follow it. Third, what do people say you're naturally good at that you tend to brush off? Stop brushing it off. That's your edge. And it's where your money hides. Here's the truth, society teaches you to be modest, to fit in, to aim low. But nature gives you an unfair advantage, something you do so well, so instinctively, that you don't even notice it anymore. And here's the trick, once you identify it, you don't need a big plan. You just need to use it. Start offering it to the world in any form, posts, products, services, advice. Start charging for it, even just symbolically. And momentum begins. Let's get deeper. Most people chase money backwards. They ask, what job pays the most? Wrong question. The right question is, what's the one thing I can do that makes people's lives better, with the least effort on my part? That's where scale lives. That's where impact starts. Let me give you another story. A woman named Laura used to doodle in the margins of her notebook during meetings. She never studied art. Never called herself an artist. But her co-workers started noticing. Asking for sketches. Eventually, someone asked her to design a tattoo. Then another. Then someone offered to pay her. Fast forward, she's now running a 6-figure illustration business. Not because she chased money. But because she stopped hiding what made her weird. And that's the word, weird. Your weirdness is your window. The thing you're embarrassed about. That's often the thing that makes you irreplaceable. Now let's flip the script. Think of a millionaire you admire. Doesn't matter who. Think about what they do. Now ask yourself, did they get rich doing what they were told? Or did they find a way to monetize their truth? Every success story has this same DNA: discovery of a core gift, boldness to use it, and relentless service to others through it. But here's the kicker: most people will never look inward long enough to discover that gift. They'll keep chasing formulas, mimicking trends, asking, "What should I do?" instead of, "Who am I?" But not you. Not anymore. You're here. You're listening. That already puts you ahead of 95% of people who'll scroll past this and forget it ever existed. You're about to see something most never see: the link between your talent and your wealth. But talent alone isn't enough. You need to package it. So, ask, what problem does your talent solve? If you're funny, can you make people forget their stress? That's entertainment. If you're organized, can you save people time? That's productivity. If you're a great listener, can you help people feel understood? That's coaching. Your gift is the vehicle. The problem it solves. That's the engine. When those two align, talent and value, you print money. But let's be real, this takes guts. It's easier to scroll. Easier to stay in jobs that numb you. Easier to believe you're not special. Because if you are special, then what's your excuse? That's the silent fear. That if you admit your potential, you can't hide anymore. But what if that's a good thing? What if you stopped hiding, and started earning? Let's talk method. Want to discover your monetizable talent fast? Do this exercise tonight. Take a blank page. On the left, list everything that feels easy to you. On the right, everything people struggle with that's connected to it. Draw lines between them. Find patterns. Find leverage. Then ask, how can I help one person solve that problem, today? Not 10. Not 100. 1. Help them. Then ask them for a testimonial. Use that to help the next one. And the next. That's how empires are built. Not with viral fame. But with repeatable, helpful actions. Let's pause. Maybe you're thinking, but I don't have time. I have bills. Responsibilities. I get it. But ask yourself, how long can you afford to not do this? Every month you ignore your real talent is a month you're renting out your life to someone else's dream. So ask, when is it your turn? Let me be brutally honest. You're not waiting for clarity. You're avoiding responsibility. Clarity comes after action, not before. You won't know the full path until you take the first step. But here's the beautiful part: the moment you use your gift to serve one person, you'll feel it. That spark. That pull. Like gravity. That's your signal. Don't ignore it. There's a reason it lights you up. That's nature's way of saying, more of this. It's not random. It's not selfish. It's a map. You just have to follow it. And yes, people will doubt you. You'll doubt yourself. But let me tell you something strange. The more you lean into your gift, the less competition you'll have. Because most people are pretending. You'll be real. And real always wins. Remember this: the world doesn't pay you for what you learned in school. It pays you for the problems you can solve, your way. Even if you don't believe in yourself yet, believe in your ability to find the one thing that sets you apart. It's there. And it's not buried deep. It's right under your nose. In your patterns. Your past. Your weirdness. Your ease. So ask yourself right now, what do I know, feel, or do that feels effortless to me, but valuable to someone else? That answer. That's your start. You don't need permission. You don't need a certificate. You just need 10 minutes of radical honesty, and the courage to begin. Because the truth is, your path to becoming a millionaire isn't about luck. It's about alignment. Find your lane. Own your gift. And give it, relentlessly, to the world. Now go make it real. And if this opened your eyes, subscribe. The next step is just beginning.